Hey everybody, sorry I'm a little bit late getting this video up. It's pretty late now, but I was at work late and had a long day. But anyway, let's jump into week 5. This week's topic, we're going to be discussing excess body hair and how it affects our relationships and intimacy and those types of things. Me personally, I'm not with anybody, but this definitely is something that I think about because it does affect me. It affects me uh, just personally, bothers me to have it. And, then on top of that, you think about, like, oh, does anybody else notice? Like, it's summer, so everybody's outside, and you're like, well, out in this light, like, can you tell? Is it, like, more obvious? Like, I noticed on, the backs of my hands and on my fingers that my body hair was excessive and longer than normal and seemed like there was more of it. So a couple of weeks ago, I went out on a limb and decided that I would wax it. I did it at home by myself, and I don't use wax. I use what they call sugaring. It's essentially like maple sugar that works just like a wax would, except that you don't have to heat it up. Um, that's what I use for my eyebrows, so I felt that, I'm pretty comfortable with it, so I think I could try it on my hand. And worst case scenario, um, all the hair grows back and I'm right back to where I started, but at least I tried it. It didn't hurt real bad. I didn't have any issues with it. I'm actually very happy I made that decision. Um, because even though, when I had brought it up to my mom and my sister, like, they laughed at me because they thought it was ridiculous to wax your hands. Um, for me personally, I wish I wouldn't have said anything to them and have to deal with them laughing at me, and I wish I would have just waxed it and not said anything to anyone. Um, and now some of it's grown back. This has been probably 2 weeks ago. Some of it's grown back, but the way when you wax, the way that your hair grows back is not the same as if you shave. Because if you shave, you cut all the hairs off at a blunt tip. So, or like a flat tip, and all of the hair is the same length then. If you wax, when it grows back, you don't get the stubble effect because you're actually pulling hair out at the root. Um, so I've been toying with the idea of waxing around in this area and under here, but I'm not really sure if I'm ready to do it by myself. So I'm kind of considering looking into some sort of a salon or like a spa type place. I know there's a place by my house that does it for like up to like $55 for facial waxing. So I thought maybe I'd stop in and ask them, and maybe if I get it done professionally a couple of times and it goes well, then maybe I'll feel comfortable doing it myself. Um, but as far as like being concerned about what your partner is going to say about it, I feel like if you're with somebody that truly cares about you, they're either A, not going to care, or B, at the very least, they can be supportive in the fact that it's caused by a medical condition, which, is very difficult to have any sort of control over. And, they can be supportive, and if they can't be supportive or they can't, keep their mouth shut and keep from saying, rude things or anything like that, I wouldn't be with that person. I know it's kind of like silly maybe to not be in a relationship with somebody because of your body hair. That seems kind of ridiculous. But it's like, you have to think about if they really care about you, they're not going to do that to you. But if they make a big deal out of it, screw them. Like, I don't really know any, maybe nice way to put it other than you are dealing with enough. You don't need that in your life, and I certainly wouldn't put up with it. Um, I truly believe that they should just have your back on it, and if they don't, then somebody else will. Um, and even if you are doing treatments, if you are, say, shaving or getting a laser or, all electrolysis, all these different sorts of treatments they do. Um, I wouldn't, unless you tried one thing and you were really like, oh man, this is great, I really love the results I'm getting, don't hesitate to try several different things. There's lots of options out there to deal with it. So definitely don't be afraid to do that. If if on the relationship issue also, I have to say that if you feel compelled to um, tell them. But if you don't, you don't have to. I mean, it's not like, uh, that it's like an STD or like something that like they can catch. So I don't really feel that you're obligated to tell anyone anything or really explain anything to anyone. Um, but anyway, if you feel compelled to do so and you think it would make you feel better, sometimes you just need to address the elephant in the room. You just need to be like, look, sometimes I can grow a beard, like, you know, um, and I mean, maybe that person's noticed, or maybe they haven't. Maybe they've noticed and they just don't care, because they care about you, because that's how it should be. Um, But anyway, so I would say, if they can't deal with it, you don't need to deal with them. And if you're struggling with the things you're currently doing to take care of that, um, maybe try something else, and don't give up, because you don't have to live with it. I know some of the other girls are using Vanica. Um, I haven't been successful myself in obtaining any sort of um, prescription or any help from my doctor as far as any of my hair is concerned. I can't even, I'm having hard times even getting them to uh, be willing to help me out with my acne problems, which is pretty frustrating. Since I'm, 23 and I break out like I'm just going through puberty. I'm just getting back into my medications though, so they keep telling me that they think that the birth control pills are going to just make everything all magically better, but I've been on these same pills for 2 years and it's nothing any different. If anything, maybe the acne is worse than it was before. I, I don't know. That's pretty frustrating in itself, but whatever you do, don't take no for an answer. Keep, this just regular stuff with anyone that has, PCOS. You just got to keep at it, keep after it. If you, get turned down one place, go somewhere else. Same thing with, trying to hair removal and things like that. If, if you try something, you don't really care for it, try something else. Don't give up on it. If you're with somebody that has a problem with it, try someone else. I mean, that's pretty much the main thing, is you shouldn't have to compromise your life and the quality of your life because of anyone else. Um, I think ultimately you know what's best for you, and that's what you need to do. Um, But anyway, I guess that's about it for this week. I'm going to climb down off my soapbox and get some sleep so I can go to school in the morning. But I look forward to seeing the rest of the girls' videos and also catching up on last week's. I only saw 2 of the others last week. But I also look forward to talking with you all next week. And if you have any questions, I will put a link to my Tumblr, or you can just leave comments on this page. Thanks.